Barely a few months into office as the Secretary General of the UDA, Cleopas Malala is dividing the UDA in the middle. Already leaders are divided about his style of leadership. And one of the people who decided to break silence on Malala's behavior is a very close ally of William Samoei Ruto and a very strong defender, Gladys Shollei, who is also the Deputy Speaker in the Senate, courtesy of the UDA party. Now apparently, it is said that Malala is on a recruitment spree, because I remember when he took over office, he announced officially that he was going to paint Kisumu yellow. Later I realized that it was not a walk in the park. It was really a daunting task, and some of their offices were, I think, were invaded by what they called ODM supporters in Kisumu. And from then, he has been moving from one place to the other on his recruitment drive, but they are never successful. People continue to fight. And I remember at some point, immediately he took over that office, William Ruto gave him instructions to try and manipulate the other affiliate parties to fold and form one big party called the UDA. And this pit him against his seniors like Musalia Mudavadi, Moses Wetangula, and they refused. And that is where the reign started beating Cleo Malala. Cleo is a very exuberant young man. He started off, I think, right from, he was actually a teacher, performing dramas, but there is a very good writer, script writing, into MCA, and then all of a sudden, he climbed the ladder to the senatorial seat, and then he wanted to be a governor. Talk of ambition, and you cannot exclude Malala from it. So listen to Gladys Shollei speaking her mind.
It's not common sense at all. That's why I'm hoping that he's been misquoted. Also, in any case, our experience now, and I'm talking again as my personal opinion as a UDA member, I'm personally disappointed with the performance of Cleo Malala. Cleo Malala has been going on this, what are they called? The UDA membership drives. And they've all been, many of them have been violent. And I was looking the other day, I asked some of the UDA members, I said, we started this party, recruited people in a record under a year, and at that time, there was not a single UDA meeting that was violent. The other day, he's in Marsabit, there is violence. He went to Isiolo, there was violence. He went to Mombasa, there was violence. So I think, and I'm going to talk to other UDA members and say, as UDA, we should begin to ask ourselves, is this guy trying to destroy our party? Yes, because UDA has never been known to be violent. That is something that belongs to ODM. ODM is the one that is normally violent. the UDA has never been violent. Yes, it's true. Yes,
ODM
that's a fact.
is not here to actually defend themselves.
No, but yes, so this in the newspapers. You can go to your archives and you'll find the violence in their meetings. This is the first time I'm seeing that UDA is actually having violent meetings. So I think there is something wrong. I'm actually, I haven't had a chance to have a serious conversation.
Communications process before he comes up with a communique like this, because
that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing it for the first time, and that's why I'm hoping.
And if you ask me, I would agree with Gladys, because when you are a leader, you must take in the uniqueness and the dynamics of every region. And when you see Malala going from one place to the other and people are fighting, it casts aspersion on his leadership skills. For example, in Mombasa, there was this supremacy battle between Jichopevu Ali, the Nyali member of parliament, and the East African member of parliament, Mr. Hassan. And one thing that Malala should know is that whenever there are two powers trying to fight to control a party, you need to be very neutral, and you need to know how to handle them. But it seems that Malala does not have even an iota of an idea how you can handle this. it seems he's putting on a very big shoes that he cannot handle. And on this, I would agree with Gladys. I don't know what you think about Malala. Please tell me, how would you rate Malala? Because he's very exuberant, talking about everything and anything, trying to act Ruto script without knowing. Now, Mr. Cheragei, who is also a strong member of the Senate, decided to weigh in on this debate, and he really defended Cleo Malala. And this is what Cheragei said. Cheragei is saying that the party leadership led by His Excellency Dr. William Ruto and the UDA membership has an absolute, and absolute is written in caps, that has got an absolute faith in the performance and management of the party by Secretary General Senator Cleophas Malala. The other sentiments are individual comments which does not reflect the party position. Look at that. When you see Cheragei coming out after the sentiments of Shollei, then you know there is something. Some dots are not adding up, because number one, these two people are very strong supporters, ardent supporters, and they would always defend William Ruto to the core. That is Gladys both Shollei and Honorable Cheragei. I have a feeling that if Cheragei thought that what Gladys said was wrong, he would have called Shollei or have a meeting with her. But even before that, even Gladys should have not come on national TV and criticized the leadership of Malala, because remember, that position was given to Malala by their party leader, William Ruto. So this tells you that, number one, there is a communication breakdown. When you see people, starting to give us their opinions, and it is like they're washing their dirty hands in public, it means there is a communication breakdown. Either they have tried secretly in their meetings and it's not working out. That communication breakdown is there. Number two, William Ruto is very crafty. This is one thing that I always tell you. He could be behind this, engineering all these altercations. He could send Gladys to go and send this coded message to Malala when he realizes that Malala is going overboard, because even from where William Ruto sits, he's not very happy when people are fighting wherever Malala goes for the recruitment drives. And so he could send Gladys, then send Cheragei, just to make sure that you kill so many birds with just one stone. So there could be a problem. But I also have a feeling that these two people, the same something that is happening in Malala's meetings could be the same thing happening between Shollei and Cheragei, because there seems to be a drive, there seems to be an appetite to control the UDA. And that is why wherever you go, you realize that there are people who are fighting, especially where there are two bigwigs, like in Mombasa, where Ali is there and Hassan is there. The only people who are safe are people who seem to be enjoying immense powers against an opponent from another party. For example, Osoro Silvanus, who is the UDA chief whip in Kisii. In Kisii, if you can see the movements and you're studying Osoro, he's really channeling those energy towards or against the current governor, Simbarati. And lucky for him, Simbarati is also another bigwig, but he is in ODM. If, for example, Osoro and Simbarati would have been in the same party, you would have seen the same fight going on. So this is something that Malala should know, but it could be the reason why Cheragei and Shollei are also fighting, because they are also fighting for the same control. And that is why they are coming out in public to talk about this. If you listen to Shollei, Shollei is saying she even forgot that whatever Malala is doing, she even forgot the name, the recruitment drive, something that is very important. anauliza, how do you call this? It is like she's trivializing whatever Malala is doing. She has a feeling that Malala is not adding anything, because she's explaining that when they started the recruitment drive, there were no meetings, but they brought in more people. And she is wondering why Malala cannot achieve this. And let me tell you something. I know she's also looking at the amount of money that Malala is using, because you've seen Malala in those very big and posh cars. And I know they are wondering, if you are being given money, you are facilitated, but you cannot achieve, then it is a problem to Shollei. Number two, Shollei is always very concerned about PR. You remember, you hear her saying that violence belongs to the ODM, that in their party, this is the first time she witnesses violence in their party. The truth is, this is not the first time. We have seen those altercations. But then, it is good that now, if she's saying that she has never seen, maybe she has always been blind or just decided not to see. Now it is coming out, because in Garissa, in Marsabit, in Mombasa, we don't know what will happen next. But there are two centers of power here. When Shollei says that she's not happy and about the leadership skills and the management skills and how Malala is doing her things, she represents a certain class, a certain opinion, a school of thought within the UDA. And Cheragei is also fighting, and you will realize that he also represents another school of thought. Some people who feel that Shollei should not come out in public and criticize, because he could be feeling that yes, a mistake has been done, Malala has exposed them, but for Gladys to come out and criticize, she's even exposing them more. Now, in a bid to stop Gladys, he's also exposing them even more, because now we know that they can't have a meeting, they can't contain themselves, they can't hide their, the shame. They're exposing it more. This is just a tip of an iceberg. More is to come, and you will see such. And I'm happy that Gladys was wiser, that she didn't rebuttal. If she had spoken again or replied to the sentiments of Cheragei, maybe it would have exploded. Maybe those allies who are close to Shollei would have weighed in, and those who are supporting Cheragei would have come in. But one thing I will tell you here is, Malala must change, because if he doesn't, then within a short time, the leadership of the UDA will be tired of him, because you can't be traveling anyhowly, but there is no any achievement. And ladies and gentlemen, just watch this space. It has just started, and I like Shollei because she has now given us what a certain quarter of the UDA feels. I also like Cheragei because he has rebutted, and we are about to witness a battle royale, the supremacy battle within. And the more they continue like this, you will hear William Ruto convening a meeting and trying to call things in order. But as we speak, Malala, if you ask me, is very incompetent. He does not match that office, because Malala talks too much. Malala is too excited, too exuberant. He doesn't know how to pick his words. He is now, he's everywhere. And as the Secretary General, he needs to be wiser than this. I don't know what you think, but that is my take.